My name is Eric Fay. I'm Democratic Director of Elections here in St. Louis County, Missouri, and here to talk about our mailer we did earlier this year in 2022. So normally leading into a general election year, we collaborate with our tax assessor here in St. Louis County to send out a ride-along in the tax bills to everybody. Well, for a number of reasons that didn't work late last year in 2021, so we had to come up with a different way to reach out to the voters and especially to recruit election judges or poll workers. So in the past, the ride along with the tax bill has been very successful and we've recruited thousands of election judges with that. But because it couldn't work, we had to, again, think of a different way. And that's what led us to ultimately sending out this mailer with the refrigerator magnet to recruit election judges.
And the April election is always, as you know, one of our most difficult elections to staff. And St. Louis County is predominantly Democratic, and so finding Republican poll workers, that's our election judge workers, that's always been a problem. So we really needed to come up with a solution quickly to staff the polling locations.
So my name is Christian Tolbert. I'm the Republican Deputy Director at the St. Louis County Election Board, and it kind of came to me about when you receive information from, let's say, real estate agents or anybody, like a reminder, they always kind of include a magnet. So we just kind of kicked it around and said, well, why don't we just send a magnet? That way they can keep it with them all year or even longer, and it's not just one piece of mail that most often goes into the trash can. So it was just one of those kind of a light bulb moment and said, let's see if we can get the materials to do this. And
Hi, I'm Jerry Kiske, and I work for Modern Litho. So I was the one that got the call for their magnet mailer. Talking with Eric Fay about this, was presented a few challenges. Sending a magnet in the mail to 400,000 residents seemed like a pretty big task, but we were up to it. So we started to look at different ways to do it, and we probably quoted this way, this magnet 4 or 5 different times, many different sizes, until we finally settled in on something that worked.
Hi, I'm Mick Adams with Modern Litho St. Louis. So we were asked to create this magnet mailer that was sharing information about election security, where to go for resources for your polling locations, looking up sample ballots, just sharing a little bit more information than we normally do in a standard mailer. So coming up with tipping on a magnet, proved to be many challenges, one of which getting the materials in a time where there's material shortages everywhere we turn. So coming up with the correct sizing, something that a manufacturer could get us enough ferrite to create these magnets, and then coming up with the production methods that we can do timely enough to get this out and ahead of the April elections. Because obviously we wanted to make sure we shared the full election schedule for the year.
Rather than just talk about recruiting election judges, let's talk about other things we do at the election board to get more information out. And we have been hearing from some parts of the country that some people had been having doubts about the integrity of elections and things like that. So we wanted to explain to the public all of the steps we take to ensure the integrity of the election, the chain of custody, the bipartisan checks and balances, all those things. And frankly, in the end product, that was most of the feedback we got from the public and from the media, was that the information about how we secure the election was very interesting to people, and to at least some, it reassured them of our processes.
It's a really easy to read pamphlet. It kind of grabs your attention, and the red, white, and blue theme, it's really attractive. It's really an eye catcher. And so I think that's why it was probably so successful, that people saw it and maybe they took a second glance like, let me look at this and see what other information is in there.
so the purpose of this actually served more than one piece.
Right.
It was kind of an ongoing service and piece of information.
Multifaceted purpose.
Yep.
So we did get a lot of compliments and positive comments from not only citizens, but elected officials here in the county really liked the way it looked and the information it provided. Washington University here in St. Louis County was another group that really liked what we did too.
Yes, I was kind of taken aback at the reaction that we received from this piece, that, yeah, everyone was so complimentary and they realized it was a good piece, had a lot of good information. As Rick said, we had the League of Women Voters, elected officials, people that are our colleagues in the field, that this was something that was a little different, but was very useful to the voters of St. Louis County.
I am Eric Fay, Director of Elections, and I'm between two ferns here to talk about no, I'm just kidding. Love that show. Also know beer drinkers make some of the best election judges, but they forget a lot. So every time they go to the fridge for another one, that's a reminder, the magnet's on there.
That's an outtake.
So these beer drinkers, why would they use their regular refrigerator? They usually have a beer fridge.
Like,
So they need two
we
magnets.
could give 2 magnets.
A supplemental magnet.
Yes.
That's right. Do we have a budget for that?
Yes.
For two magnets?
Well, we won't find the Ferrite for that.
That's right.
All right, cut.
All right.
Yeah, it was frankly a shock to a lot of voters that thought we only worked a couple days a year, that we were actually doing
That's
something
right.
when there wasn't an election going on.
Well, actually, you only do work a couple days. a year.
That's right.
Don't
That's
get
right.
fooled.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.